We are going to chat about a life-changing eating tool that transformed my own health, my own eating habits and relationship with food, and continues to support me to this day and helps hundreds of our clients every single year. The tool is called the pause. Now, when we talk about the pause, I think so many of our clients just don't have any idea how life-changing it can be, because what we're basically asking them to do is practice pausing before they put anything in their mouth, which is fabulous life advice in general. Will keep you out of a lot of trouble. And I wish I'd known about that when I was 17 or 18, but that is probably a video for a different day. But what the pause allows you to do with food is choose how you want to respond instead of reacting in emotion, reacting to your food environment, acting on autopilot, eating in ways that you always have. Because so many people come to us wanting to change their eating habits, but we are all creatures of nature. We like certainty. We like to know that in different situations we're going to eat different things. And also lots of our clients come to us stuck in patterns of behaviour with eating that are problematic, that aren't supporting their health. They're flying around throughout life, super stressed, just shoving food into their mouth. It gets to the end of the day, they know they've had some meals, they know they've had some snacks, but there's also been loads of picking at extra foods, and they can't even really remember what it is that they've had because they've just been eating on autopilot. Now, our high stress lifestyles and food environment have lots to do with pausing before you put anything in your mouth, feeling tough and challenging. But with practice, it is absolutely possible to nail the pause. So many of us, and I include myself in this, run around super stressed, busy, taking on more and more, constant to-do lists, and then we wonder why food and what we actually eat just gets pushed further and further down our priority lists. So many people are acting on autopilot, just going throughout their day, not realising if they're grabbing extra food, they've put some peanut butter in oats and they go and get an extra spoon of it. These little things make a huge difference over time to our health. But the pause is what allows you to come back to the present moment and make a conscious choice. Despite life being super busy and stressful, it is absolutely a tool that you can practice and have it there to use day to day. We have to think about the way our food environment has adapted as well. We now live in an obesogenic food environment, and our food environment has changed drastically over the last 20 years. And it's only going to keep adapting and evolving, making being fit and healthy tougher than ever. So the sooner you nail a technique like the pause, the better. An obesogenic food environment means that our food environment is set up for us to become overweight and to make less healthful food choices. Ultra-processed food is everywhere. You can click a button on an app and have whatever food you desire delivered to your home without even having to move. Supermarkets and shops are set up to market ultra-processed, highly palatable foods that we are so much likely to eat on autopilot or not be conscious of the amounts of these foods we're consuming. Couple that with the fact that we now socialise with food more than ever. When I was a kid, you'd go out to eat socially once a month, once every 6 weeks. And now I'm 37 and I eat out numerous times a week. Some of our clients eat out daily with work. So these things make pausing before you consume harder than ever. I also remember back in the day when you'd go into a coffee shop and the only sort of coffee available would be like an Americano, maybe a flat white if you were lucky. Now we've got coffees full of sugar, syrup, like cold foam with fucking fireworks flying out of them. It's wonderful. It's great. If you know how to have these things in moderation, they don't become the normal food choices you turn to, and you're pausing and asking yourself, do you want to be drinking things like that all day, every day? Or do you want to have them as an actual occasional treat? Pause allows you to do that. It allows you to come back to the here and now and to calmly and consciously make intentional food choices. Yes, thinking about what you want right now, because that's important. Enjoying food and getting pleasure from food sometimes is important, but also to take into account your long-term health and your long-term goals as well. I know telling you to be more mindful and pause sounds all airy-fairy, but I promise it isn't. We are nutritionists and food behaviour experts who specialise in supporting our clients with their relationships with food and their body image as well as overall health. And we do not ask our clients to sit down and meditate for 5 minutes before every meal or to suck on a raisin to increase mindfulness. We use powerful, impactful tools that you guys can use in the moment to support your day-to-day eating habits. The pause is perfect as well as a long-term strategy, because even if you are tracking calories right now or following a meal plan, you aren't going to do those things for the rest of your life. And then what? What happens when you don't want to use MyFitnessPal? Or what happens when you fall out of routine and you can't be bothered logging your food? Or what happens when a meal on the meal plan isn't suitable? That is exactly what the pause is there for, so you can still be making conscious choices. There's actually some really cool research that shows the long-term success with using more mindful techniques like the pause. There were 2 groups. Both of them were dieting, and one of them used mindful tools such as the pause, and the other group didn't. They just used a standard calorie deficit, tracking calories meal plan. And at a 12-month follow-up, the first group that had used the more mindful techniques were actually still managing to reduce the amount of processed foods, sugary foods, and high-calorie foods, therefore seeing more long-term success than the group that didn't. This just shows how important it is, if people want to improve their eating habits and improve their health, to have long-term interventions and long-term strategies that you can use for the rest of your life. Now, of course, like with anything, it takes practice, it takes time, and it's never going to be perfect. Even now, sometimes I know to pause. I talk about this all day, every day with my clients. I support them with it. I give them accountability to get them to pause more. But sometimes I know I should pause and I just choose not to do it. That is fine. We are all human. But the aim of this is to pause more before you put anything in your mouth than you are doing right now. So some reminders to get you to pause can be super helpful. Some of our clients like setting reminders in their phone just before meal times that they can then have pop up on their phone screen and delay until that same meal time the next day. Other clients like to do something similar but pop them in their calendar. Others like to have a post-it note. So you could pop a post-it note up on the fridge, on the kitchen cupboard. If you eat at your desk, by the side of your desk, if you eat at the kitchen table, wherever you eat, wherever you make food, just a little post-it note that says pause. Because also as well, loads of our clients have kids. So we want to be super, super mindful that we aren't putting up post-it notes. When one client started working with me, she had a post-it note on a fridge saying, "Stop snacking, you fat shit." We wouldn't recommend clients do that when you've got kids around. It's not a nice way to talk to yourself either. But a post-it note saying pause is brilliant. So you can also get loads of merchandise with pause written on it. You can get bracelets, mugs, little graphics to put up in a frame on your wall. I actually got a tattoo with the pause on it because I talk about it so much, and genuinely it changed my life, not just with food, but it allowed me to become calmer, more content and more rational in general, instead of flying around in that super high stress state, constantly reacting in emotion and just losing my shit. The pause supports me with food every single day, and I still need reminders at times. But also it supports me in life to just be a better and a calmer human. So I want you guys to get practicing pausing before you put anything in your mouth. Loads of our clients think, oh, I'll just use it in social occasions or when I really need it, but that doesn't develop a habit. We want to move away from just automatically shoving stuff in to pausing even before you have normal, planned, prepared meals. And then it's going to be there in your back pocket for times when there's snacks everywhere, or you are socialising, or there's just more temptation about. Please let me know how you get on with this. Download the tool in the description. Any questions, send them my way, and I will be back with another video very soon.